What's going on, guys? This is Joe. I am here for another Hour of Devastation draft. We can talk about it a little more as the game goes on, but this will be probably our final Hour of Devastation draft. And we open an interesting one. I like Sandblast. I like Torment of Venom. I like Magmaroth. I think red-green, red-black, those kinds of colors, red-white, are like my favorite combination. And so I think I'm going to go with Magmaroth here. I don't really like Claim to Fame, and I definitely don't like Abandoned Sarcophagus. I feel like it's a little too slow and grindy. Magmaroth, I think, does some pretty sweet things. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Magmaroth for our first pick. Doesn't mean I'm married to red. Doesn't mean I'm not. Following it up with something like a Burning Fist Minotaur means that I probably am. The rare's taken out of here. The Kenra Eternal's not bad either. There's a Sinuous Striker, although I'm not a big fan of blue, but if I was, Unquenchable Thirst and Unsummon are pretty good too. So I'm going to take this Burning Fist Minotaur to follow up our Magmaroth. Burning Fist Minotaur as a 2-drop is nice, be a little bit more aggressive. Magmaroth can kind of be near the top of our curve at that point, if that's where we're going. White has some pretty good 2-drop creatures as well. Green as well, so we'll see if we can pair this with something else. But we've been taking some pretty sweet red uncommons, so hopefully that's a clue that red is open, although of course this was our first pick, this was our second, so we'll have to see what more we get. Once again, still not married to red, but again, if we're going to keep getting past good red uncommons, good red uncommon creatures, I'll take it. Oketra's Avenger is a definite close second for me. It's a 3/1, just like the Fervent Paincaster, but this one actually is probably a little bit better for aggression. But I think if I'm clearly showing that red is unavailable, I'm going to take the only red card out of here, and a good one, except for obviously Crypt of the Eternals. But if we might not be in white, and it looks more and more like we're definitely in red. So it's better to, I think, pick up the Fervent Paincaster here and stay open for a second color, although green, pretty obviously not available in this pack to us, so. Okay, there's an Obelisk Spider that's 2 colors we're not in, despite the fact that I love this card. I like the Carrion Screecher here. Notably, the red is the Gilded Ceridom, which is not a bad card, but I think Carrion Screecher is better. So I think I'm going to go with the Carrion Screecher here. If it wasn't Carrion Screecher, it would probably be the Ceridon. Again, not married to black, looking more and more like we're at least partially red. So we'll see where we go from here. Like I was saying, this is almost definitely our last Hour of Devastation draft, which is good. I have not been, if you've been following along, I have not been a huge fan of this format personally. So Aerial Guide is here and the Bloodwater entity. I really don't like blue in this format at all. Rampaging Hippo is not bad. There's also a Red Desert. I think I'm going to go with an Accursed Horde is not bad either. Yeah, I mean, Fraying Sanity is not what I want, even if I was in blue, whereas either of these blue cards would be, and this is blue-red, and a beautiful piece of art, not that that matters. But I think I'm going to stick with the Desert here. If there are some coming around, I know I saw one earlier as well. If they're going to be coming around, I'm going to grab them up, and then I can maybe start getting some Desert Ceridons and things like that, and it allows me to kind of be more open to being in the Desert deck. Or at least a form of the Desert deck. We'll see what we get here. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm not a big fan of this format personally. It hasn't really treated me well, and so people can argue that, you know, it's just because I'm not good at it, and that's why I don't like it. And that's a fair criticism of me. But I also just don't really like it. I've talked about it in some past videos. I feel like it pushes you to be 3 colors without a lot of 3-color synergies being available to you. And so it kind of makes for some annoying picks and decisions. Okay, so this is the second claim to fame, because we opened one in our pack as well. And then there's the Wildfire Eternal, which we don't really have big instants or sorceries. But I also don't know that claim to fame is anything good for us. We are going to get something back out of here. I'm going to hope that it's claim to fame. And I'm probably going to go with the Eternal, because then if we see some good instants or sorceries, then we can pick it a little bit more aggressively. Plus, it's a rare, and it's not terrible. So there's a Frilled Sandwall I actually kind of like. Sidewinder Naga as well if we're going deserts. But there's also a Granitic Titan. We don't look like we're particularly aggressive right now. So Granitic Titan is not bad. Crook of Condemnation is nothing. Crash Through is nothing. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Granitic Titan here. Kind of firmly cut out red, and then just keep an eye out for more green stuff like this. Here's another Ceradon. Kind of the best thing in this pack. The black is not bad. Marauding Bone Slasher and Grizzly Survivor, but I think this Ceradon's a little bit better. Here's the other claim to fame. Yeah, I'll take it. If the other one comes around, that's great. We'll have two, but I'm going to take this one. If we get more 2-drops, that would be great. Speaking of which, here's one. Appeal to Authority is fantastic. I've always talked about how I like this card, but I like being in both of these colors for it, and we're in neither. So here's another Carrion Screecher. Yes, please. And another Ceradon. I don't know that I'm going to play two. We'll see how many more deserts I get. See if Claim to Fame comes back around. That would be kind of nice. But I doubt it. I think it's in the next pack. I don't know that I'm going to play this Kindled Fury, but I'll leave it in the sideboard. Yeah, I think this is the pack that had Claim to Fame in it coming up. We'll see if I get lucky with two of them. We now have 2-2-drops. I feel like Kenra Eternals will come around a little bit late as well. We might get some Nefcrop Entanglers from Amonkhet. Nope. Oh, well, hey, it's a 2-drop. That's something. It works. I don't know that we'll play it if we have to. And the last pick is a land, presumably. Maybe. We're also towards the end of this format, so it's, oh wow, beautiful Full Art Island, very nice. It took a hell of a lot. Oh, okay, yeah, this is an amazing, wow, this is a great pack for us. Even if nothing else, there's a Black Desert, a Lethal Sting, but there's also a Chaos Maw. Although for our deck, I mean, we've got, you know, this 1/4 and this 5/5, which would be a 4/4, 5/4. So this deals 3 damage to each other creature. Unfortunately, in black-red, we're trying to be a little bit faster than that, which means I'm probably going to go more for the Burning Fist Minotaur. May be wrong. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think. Sand Strangler is not bad either. There's the Desert here as well, which if it comes back, I'll take that. Although, again, Sand Strangler's good. There's another Granitic Titan, a little expensive, and Gilded Ceradon. There's also a Lethal Sting, which is perfectly fine. But I think I want to be a little bit more aggressive, and I'm going to go with this Burning Fist Minotaur. Passing that Chaos Maw does not feel particularly good. Here's another Claim to Fame. There's also an Overcome in this pack and an Open Fire. I think I'll go with the Open Fire over the Desert. Although maybe now that we have more 2-drops, maybe it makes more sense to go with the other Claim to Fame. But we saw how late they were coming around earlier. Someone took the other one, but it was pretty late. So I'm going to kind of bank on this coming back. It is pretty early, and I'm going to take this Open Fire because this card is great. Here's a Puncturing Blow, a great card to cast off of Wildfire Eternal. There's also a Black Desert, which I'm going to, again, be aware of. That's 2 Black Deserts and a Red Desert we've seen so far. I think Puncturing Blow is better here for us. at least for now. We have a red desert and a lethal sting. That's actually kind of a tough choice as well. I like bitterbow sharpshooters, but we're definitely not in green. Wow, very tough choice. I think removal's more important. Again, deserts are kind of another reason why I don't like this format. You either go in on them and you could waste your picks, or you don't go in on them and then they're there and you've wasted your time picking things like Gilded Ceradons, but removal is always important and limited, and so I'm going to go with Lethal Sting. Yeah, here's a Black Desert and a Kenra Scrapper. There's just always something better than the deserts. So hopefully the deserts keep coming around. The walls are not terrible either if we get more deserts, but I think Kenra Scrapper is really good. Wow. Inferno Jet, Red Desert, Frontline Devastator. This is really a thing. I'm going to take this Inferno Jet. Inferno Jets have been really good for me in this format. If you've been following along with my drafts at home, Inferno Jets are kind of always amazing and really great. I just always find myself being like, well, if I draw Inferno Jet, I win. So I'm going to take that. There's been a lot of Granitic Titans, not that I want more than like one or maybe two. Here's a Black Desert. I'm going to actually take that over the Gilded Ceradon or the Granitic Titan. Start picking up some of these deserts a little bit more aggressively. Because now we have one of each, but there were a ton going around. Yeah, here's the other one. Better than Chandra's Defeat, which is a sideboard card at best. Better than Defiant Kenra, which we already have in the sideboard, and another Granitic Titan. So yeah, I'm going to go with the desert here. That person wanted you to know that his car was loud. Or her car, sorry. But yeah, so now we have 2 red and a Black Desert, and we know that there have been a ton more going around. I think because of that, I'll take this Gilded Ceradon over another Granitic Titan or the Scrounger of Souls. I don't know why Sandblast is still here. That's a little upsetting, but I'm going to take this Ceradon. Yeah, I'll take the Claim to Fame. We only have 3 2-drops so far, but still, I think that's great. 1 black mana to bring one of these back to the battlefield. A First Striker or an Afflict creature. I like that. And I like it better than Blur of Blades just because it's a great card and it's in both of our colors. So yeah. Marauding Bone Slasher is fine. If we have to make a cut, it probably would be this one, but maybe not. Yeah, I'll add it with the other ones. If we really want to go in on Claim to Fames, we can add these Defiant Kenras in just to be annoying. Here's a Grizzly Survivor as well. Sure. And a land is the last pick again, I assume? Maybe. Yeah, it's another island. All right, so going into Amonkhet, we're pretty solidly in this deck. Yeah, on Crop Crasher it is. Over Magma Spray and Black Cartouche and Grimstrider. But I like on Crop Crasher a lot. Super aggressive, makes something unable to block. We've got, low drop creatures as well. So yeah, I'm going with the on Crop Crasher here. Plus, I like this card quite a bit. 3 Gilded Ceradons with 3 deserts is not perfect. We lost a lot of these desert picks to some of these really cool creatures, but to be fair, I would be okay with swapping out one of the Ceradons for one of these Kenras or something. Or, depending on what we get out of this pack, we may not even need to put these Kenras in. But we'll see how much Claim to Fame is doing for us. Yes, no. We're waiting at this point. Yeah, like I said before, it took quite a bit of time for people to decide what they wanted to do here. All right, so there's a foil uncommon, which is unplayable. There's an amazing rare not in our colors. half of our colors but not our deck. Amazing card. Here's a 2-drop that we could get back. So we let it die early, make a zombie, and then bring it back, and then let it die and make another zombie. That's not terrible. I think if Fling comes back, I'll take Fling. Otherwise, Supernatural Stamina. Throwing a Granitic Titan or a Gilded Ceradon at someone would kind of be fun. But that felt bad, passing that Scaled Behemoth Sandworm Convergence, but it's clearly not our deck. There's also just a Kefnet now going around the table. That's disgusting. Again, it's not our deck, and I don't like blue. Kefnet's not an amazing god. If Hazoret were going around, I would have taken that. But if Hazoret were going around, something's very wrong. There's a reason this is going around, and it's because it's very rarely going to be a creature. And sure, 4 mana to draw a card is great, but it's never going to be a creature, especially in Limited. I'm going to take this Blighted Bat. True Heart Duelist is fine, and we're not in that color, so I'm going to go with Blighted Bat over the Desert Ceradon. Okay, there's some really good green going around too, which is upsetting. I'm going to take this Soul Stinger. Okay, actually, there's a Bantu's Monument. Black creatures costing 1 less. Who does it affect? 2 Carrion Screechers, a Marauding Bone Slasher. It drains on any creature spell being cast, but it has to be cast. So if you're looking at Claim to Fames, it doesn't count. So I actually think that Soul Stinger is better for us here. There's another Blighted Bat. There's a Festering Mummy. There's a Nefcrop Entangler. Don't even look at this Bifrost. This is nothing. This will possibly be a last pick, and maybe we can get it then. But I might even just pick this Swamp over it. But yeah, there's a Blighted Bat, a Festering Mummy, and a Nefcrop Entangler. I think... that's actually kind of a tough choice. I think I might go with the Entangler here. It's a 2-drop. I'm a little biased with my Claim to Fames. Kind of trying to make them good. Plus, I talked about it earlier, but, you know, it's a toss-up because Festering Mummy as a 1-drop is great. Blighted Bat as a 3-drop is fantastic. Or if you play it on turn 4, give it haste. That's fine as well. But I think I'm going to go with the 2-drops here. Be as aggressive as I can. Okay. There's another Doom Dissenter. Over the Bloodlust Inciter? Yeah, I think Doom Dissenter is better for us. It's more aggressive. We can either leave it back as a blocker or attack with it without care, because we know that either we can get it back or we're just getting a zombie for it. Bloodlust Inciter is good, but if we're not getting our high-end stuff out, then it's kind of useless. Or if we don't get it on turn 1. Like, drawing it late game is bad, whereas drawing this late game is not. So I'm going to take the Doom Dissenter here. You know what? I've talked about, wanting 2 color cards to be in both of our colors, but to be honest, the onward half of Onward to Victory is awesome, and sometimes your opponent lets creatures through that they think isn't that big of a deal, and then you play Onward and you just win. So even though we can't play the Victory half at all, I really don't think that matters to me. Onward, I think, is just that good. Okay, here's a Bloodlust Inciter, a Festering Mummy, a Limits of Solidarity, and a foil Full Art Swamp. I think I'm going to go with... See, the unfortunate thing with Wildfire Eternal is you could say, oh, well, with this, I could cast this, but that would be kind of stupid because you only have it until end of turn, and that meant that you would have already attacked. So, I think I'm going to go with the Festering Mummy here. It's partial removal, and I like it quite a bit, and it's a 1-drop. Grimstrider's not bad. I might cut it, I might not. We're going to have to make some serious cuts in this deck, but we can worry about that later. Yep, the Fling came back, like I said. Supernatural Stamina is still here, but Fling is important for similar reasons as Inferno Jet. If we get locked down because we're trying to be more aggressive and they're playing bigger stuff, but they're at 6 or 5 or 4, Fling or Inferno Jet is the way to get us there. And having more than one of those cards where we're like, well, if we draw this, we win, the more the better. So there's a Desert Celadon. I'm going to put it in the sideboard. I don't think I'm playing it. Tormenting Voice, same thing. Much better than Trespasser's Curse. Oh, the Blighted Bat came back. That's incredible. All three of these, I'd be, well, I would say I'd be more than happy. I'd be okay with this in case we come across a deck with like a relevant artifact in it. But I'm taking the Blighted Bat. And a Bloodlust Insider comes back too. That's great. This is great. Okay, let's build this thing. Let's build this thing. There we go. Okay, so for now we get rid of these deserts because they don't count because they're lands. Let's group creatures separately so we can see what we're working with. Okay, so not a ton of spells, and these technically count as 1-drops. You could play both in the same turn, bring it back, give it +2/+0 in haste for 3. But even just using it as a 1-drop is fine. This is only a 3-drop because we're not playing the victory half, as we said. Originally, it looked like black was going to be our splash, but I think we've picked up some pretty serviceable black later on. I don't know that Wildfire Eternal, though, is going to do it for us. I think the threat of activation is enough to make people want to block this thing, which means they're going to be losing 4 life. And playing an Inferno Jet or a Puncturing Blow with it would be nice. So I think I'll keep it in, but I think once we've used it once, I think that they'll be able to realize kind of what we're doing. And so we might be able to sideboard it out early. Let's see if we can... what do we want to get rid of? As always, let me know in the comments what you think. I think that... yeah, I'm always looking for feedback on what people think I should do in these situations. So here we are getting ready to deck build. I've already moved the deserts, the 3 of them, to the side. They count as lands, so they don't count for our 23. And we have to make 10 cuts, which is quite a large number. So I think let's be a little bit aggressive in our cuts. I don't mind Wildfire Eternal, but I think that it's a lot of hoops to jump through for what would be nice to say, let's cast an Inferno Jet or a Puncturing Blow. So I'm kind of debating on that. I think I'm going to get rid of 1 Gilded Celadon. I think I'm going to get rid of... I like Fling. I like our 2-drops. I think they're great. I think both Claim to Fames are fine. I think that I moved onward over here because we're not playing Victory, so it's a 3-drop. The Claim half is 1, so I left it over here. Although we could play both in a turn, and then it would be over here for 3. I don't think any of these need to be gotten rid of. Removal and Open Fire, Lethal Sting, and Puncturing Blow is good. I think in terms of our creatures, obviously that's where we're going to be making the majority of our cuts. I don't know that Grizzly Survivor is the best. We don't really have cycling or discarding, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of Grimstrider as well. I like our flyers, although they're 3/1s. I think I'm going to get rid of Soul Stinger. I like it, but I think it's a little slow for what we're doing. I think for the same reason, I'm going to get rid of Granitic Titan. If we notice that our opponent's playing big stuff and we want to kind of deal with that, we can do that. But I think I'm going to keep the Bloodlust Insider for things like Magmaroth and Gilded Celadons. Like I said, I think I'm going to get rid of the Wildfire Eternal. I think the proper way to handle this card is to just never block it. If I was my opponent, I would just never block it and just hope they didn't have anything. And again, we have 2 cards, which are not that amazing. So I'm going to get rid of that. It is a 4-drop. Okay. So we have 4 more that we have to get rid of. Let's go with... I think I'm going to get rid of one of the carrion screechers. The blighted bats do kind of the same thing. This is a 3-1, this is a 2-1, but this costs 1 less, and you could pay 1 to give it haste, or we could just use the Bloodlust Inciter. So the question is, we need 3 more cuts. What do we get rid of? I think if we get... The thing is, if we get rid of these Gilded Ceradons, we don't need the deserts at all, and we only have 3. And then we only need 1 more cut. And I hate the desert sub-theme. I've talked about that a lot. So, both of those go away. Now we really have no top end in terms of creatures, so we need to be aware of that if we're getting into later turns and they're kind of running us over, and Fling and Inferno Jet aren't getting us there. But I think that for 1 more cut, 1 more, let's get rid of... that's a really tough... I would say the Fervent Paincaster. It pings, sure, and it's a 3-1, but we're trying to be attacking, and pinging them over and over, that's way too slow. And I feel like I'm going to find myself tapping, like either not wanting to tap 3 to play this thing ever because I just don't see an opening. That's happened to me before. Or playing it and then just feeling bad about, having wasted a turn to play this instead of this, which is much more impactful. So let's get rid of the Fervent Paincaster. I'm going to save this deck, and we're going to go into round 1 in just a second. So here we are with round 1. I forgot to mention it earlier, but I ended up going 9-8 with our lands, leaning more heavily towards red. I would love to play first. This hand is meh. I'll keep it, but I'm going to feel real bad if we don't draw 1 more land. Let's play a Festering Mummy. And pass. So yeah, we went 9-8, leaning more heavily towards mountains. I may have misspoken and not said mountain. But yeah, 9-8, leaning more heavily towards mountains, because that's our more prominent color. Let's, in fact, play that, and then just go to combat first, in case they have, like, Magma Spray or something crazy for 1. I'd rather they use it on the Festering Mummy. And then we can play a Nefcrop Entangler. And... if we draw land next turn, it'll just look like we planned it this way. Okay, are they done? They are. That's good. And we did draw land. That's also good. Let's go right to combat. There's no need to exert this guy, so we just get to get in for 3. Okay, we'll play our land. Let's go with the Bone Slasher. If they're playing nothing, this is going to do lots and lots of damage for us. So, yeah. That's helpful. Grasping Dunes. Okay. They're playing Imminent Doom. I'm not going to leave it up there for a very long time so that you can see what it does, but I'm not upset with Imminent Doom. Just great. They can... okay, whatever. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on doing other things. Let's go to combat. Let's swing out with everybody. No need to exert. Again, like I said. They go to 10. And then I'll play a Blighted Bat. And pass. We might just win now. Because with Open Fire, if they take all of this damage and then Open Fire, we just win next turn. So let's see what they've got. And we missed a land drop. But it doesn't matter because we're aggressive. Okay, so there's a Quarry Hauler here. Okay, so they're putting another counter on Imminent Doom. Okay. That's fine. But they didn't cast a spell equal to it, so it doesn't get to use its secondary ability. And they just have a Quarry Hauler now. Okay. So I'm going to open fire the quarry hauler, and then what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'll just take them to 2. Yeah, I guess that works. Let's go to combat. Let's attack. I can exert, I guess. Let's see how they block. And depending on what they choose will depend on whether this open fire goes at them. Okay, so they're blocking here. They're going to take 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be 9, so it's still not enough. So I might as well... No, I think I'll let this happen. It's a trade. They don't know what I have in my hand. Let's pass. And see what they do. I can open fire in response, or if I have to kill something, I can get in with my flyer if they can't stop it. Okay, so this happens, and then Imminent Doom happens, and they're gonna kill the Blighted Bat. That's fine. Okay, and so then they'll kill him. That's also fine. Yeah, see, the nice thing is I can open fire at the end of... Well, actually, they're tapped out. I might as well just do it now. I can open fire them for 3. And then next turn, play the Blighted Bat with this land, give it haste, and I win. Bad rares are bad. And they're bad for a very particular reason. Okay. Alright, so we drew another land as well. That's fine. This is kind of a moot point now, but I'll play the Blighted Bat. I think they know where it's going. They sure do. Okay, good. Let's go to sideboarding. Their Imminent Doom deck is not fast enough, which is good. And we were a little land screwed, but then at the end we just got flooded. So I think this is fine. I think let's take out Carrion Screecher and... Actually, they didn't really have a way of dealing with flyers, did they? I think my point is I'm trying to debate putting in the Defiant Kenras as being faster. That's a tough choice. Yeah, I think I'll swap 1 for 1. I'll do a Carrion Screecher for a Defiant Kenra, and I'll leave in the Magmaroth just in case. If we have to switch back, we can switch back. We'll see how this game goes. All right. That's fine. Okay, we have 3 lands. We have a 1 and a 2 and a 4. So that's not... And a 3-drop over here as well. That's not bad. We'll keep this hand. They mulligan to 6. So that sounds great. That's really good for us. Okay. On our turn... Ooh, we have another 2-drop as well. That's sweet. Let's get the Bloodlust Insider out there and pass. Okay. Wow. Just 2 lands. All right. Let's get our second color out there, not that it completely matters. And then instead of attacking with Bloodlust Insider, we can use it on the Nefcrop Entangler. And then go to combat and attack for just 2. Yeah, this seems fine to me. Next turn we can attack for 7. Alright, they have a 3/3. That's fine. That's completely fine. There's a Blighted Bat as well. Okay. This is not as big of a deal. So let's play a Blighted Bat, give it haste with Bloodlust Insider, and just attack in the air. You know what? What does this make it? A 3/3? Oh, fine. I'll attack with both. Let's see what he does with that. If he wants to trade for my Neff Crop, that's totally fine. Otherwise, he's just taken 5, or she. Sorry, I did that before. It technically says Carl in here, but who knows. All right, great. That sounds fine to me. And that's my turn. Yeah, they're at 13 already on my turn 3. I'm fine. I'll take 3. Please don't have a follow-up. My Magmaroth will be super happy. Wow. Okay. That's fantastic. Let's do it. Let's give Magmaroth haste and attack for 7. Whew. Okay. Great. Great. Next turn, we can onward something. We can onward this guy to deal 6. Yeah, we just win. Yep. I mean, to be fair, their deck wasn't that good. It was an Imminent Doom deck, but still. Let's go to round 2. All right, that was one of the fastest rounds I've ever had. Here is round 2. We have 3 lands, a 2/2 drops, and a 3-drop. This is not as good as our other hands have been, but it's not terrible. Let's start with a swamp and pass. Okay, they're part white. That's something. And question is, what do we play first? I think it's going to be the Kenra Eternal, and I'll pass. They'll play a Mummy Paramount. Okay. That happens. We have Claim to Fame. That's pretty sweet. Let's attack. If they block, we can just get it back with Claim and play Burning Fist Minotaur. And if they don't block, we can play Kenra Scrapper. Okay. So they lose 1 life on blocks. That seems fine with me. Let's play our land. Play Claim and bring him back to the battlefield. And then tap 2. Whoops. And play Burning Fist Minotaur. That was definitely the wrong thing to click on. Okay. Yeah, so now we just have 2 power creatures. That's totally fine. Open Fire is a thing as well. Now, what does it take to bring this back? 5? Let's attack and see what they do. This has first strike, so they're clearly not blocking that, but they did pretty aggressively block this guy before. That seems fine with me. They'll lose 1 on Afflict, and then these creatures will trade, and then they take another 2 from first strike, and then I can just play out the Kenra Scrapper. Play another land, and we're done. These are not bad. We also have the Fame half, so let's not forget that. They have their own Kenra Eternal. That seems fine. That also seems fine. With both of these creatures, they can't profitably block at all, which is great for us. We have another land, which is not fantastic, but we can... +2/+0 and haste is not... 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need to exert this guy, although I want to, but I think I'll just leave up Open Fire. I'll just attack with both of these guys, and then leaving up Open Fire seems fine. I could use this ability and make it more powerful there, but I think I'm just going to wait. I think with just everything, I'm just going to wait. They're at 12. They can deal me 2. They can draw some cards or something. Or Scry. Yeah, they have a Festering Mummy, which they can, if it dies, use it to kill this guy. But I can then fling it as an instant. Yeah, here's a Carrion Screecher. So... okay. We draw a Bloodlust Insider. Great. Let's... We could do some things here. We have enough to open fire and fling, which is good if we attack with both of these, because we can just fling this at them. And we can open fire one of the things that they block the Kenra Scrapper with. So that should be fine. Let's try it and see what happens. Do I need to exert? I don't think I do. Once again. Let's see how they block. Okay, so we're going to... It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine. That's the only way they're blocking. So they're going to have the Festering Mummy kill the Burning Fist Minotaur with the -1/-1 counter after combat damage. So they're still going to take 2, and then this Menace guy, they're just going to... Well, I mean, they don't know about open fire, so that's fine. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and open fire the Kenra Eternal. It dies. Then damage happens. They put the counter on the Minotaur. The Minotaur dies. And then I get to play the Bloodlust Inciter. Very good. If I draw something for 3 or less, which we know I have plenty of, I can give it +2/+0 and haste. Although I could also just give it haste with the Inciter, but... Alright, well they do have another zombie, so they can block with this 3/3. But if they attack, they can't block this guy. They didn't attack. Okay, here's a Doom Dissenter. So we can play the Doom Dissenter. We can use Fame on it and make it a 3/1 with haste. But then we wouldn't be able to fling something. So if I attack with all 3, presumably they're trying to block here. I think I'll exert this guy. And then worst comes to worst, I can fling him. I think the problem... Actually, I wouldn't fling him. Because if they double blocked, I would just kill both of these and just trade those for this. So I think that's fine. And Fame is a sorcery, so I'd have to do it now, and I'm not going to. Because I think there are better things to use it on than a Doom Dissenter. So, let's go to combat. Oh, okay. We're waiting on something. They have been F6ing, and with only 1 red, I feel like I know what it is, but if I only attack with this... Yeah, I'm going to attack with both. Oh, this just came into play. That's why. Yeah. So I'm just attacking with my Menace guy, but I will exert him so that if they double block, I can kill both of their creatures. Otherwise, they can go to 6. They do double block. All right. I think I'd rather have the Bone Slasher die first if they have some kind of something for 1 red, which I don't know that's possible. Okay, very good, and that'll be it. I can fling my Doom Dissenter at something. Maybe I should have done it on the Carrion Screecher. Okay, destroy all creatures, lands I control, don't untap, but it doesn't matter, because I won't use fling on this, because I'll just get a zombie for it. So, there are 3 lands don't untap, but they do have 3 more. But Doom Dissenter happens. They get to draw a card first. That's fine. Okay. So they board wiped and then had no follow-up for my 2/2. And I just have this to kill something with. Okay, so I could... See, here's the thing with Fame, right? I can make this a 4/2, attack, bring them to 6, and then fling it, and bring them to 2, but that's not enough. So I'm going to attack for 2 and leave that as an option for next turn. Because if they have no follow-up, since none of their lands untap, then I might win. Oh boy. Sweet. Okay. So let's do this. Let's play Fame, attack, and then post-combat, use Fling. Oh, hold on. I did, yeah. Okay. This is very important. Choose target creature or player. Great. It'll be the player. Then we pay 2, and then we do this. I actually had not used Fling this way before, so I almost tried to deal the damage to the creature instead of to them. But we win. Let's go on to game 2. Let's go on to sideboarding first. I don't know that we need to try to be more aggressive. I think it was fine what we had. Fervent Paincaster, there's an argument for it, although we saw, one Carrion Screecher, and we have Blighted Bats and a Carrion Screecher ourselves, plus a Festering Mummy of our own. So I'm not super worried about that. I think we're okay for now. I think I'm going to submit, and if we get more information that leads us to believe that we should go further, we'll do that. But I think for now, this deck will be just fine. They choose to play first. Our opening hand is eh. We've got a 1-drop and a 2-drop, which is not really enough. But we'll keep it because mulliganing is not what I want to do really ever. We draw more land, and we'll see where that takes us. They have a Kenra Eternal. Okay. Well, we draw another land. Let's attack and see what happens. If they want to kill it, they'll trade. Otherwise, they'll just take 1. Okay, and then I'll play a Doom Dissenter. Great. Pass. I'll lose 1 life if I block, but then I'll have a 2/2, so that's something. They have a Painted Bluffs. Are they splashing? Did I miss something? I might have. Yep, a Cartouche. Okay, so they're going to give this guy first strike, and they get a 1/1. Okay. They do attack. I will block. I'll lose 1 instead of 3. But I also get a 2/2 creature, so. The problem is, I would like to draw something besides land this turn. Hey, a Magmaroth, that's something. Can't play it this turn, but that's fine. Let's see what we can do in terms of attacking. We can attack with this 2/2 without fear. So yeah, let's try that. They'll take it, go to 17. That's good for us. And that's really it. We can make the Festering Mummy a 2/1, but that's not a thing that we want to do. So we just have to wait until we have the ability to play our 4th land for a Magmaroth friend here. Okay. The nice thing about Magmaroth combined with Onward is we can possibly make it a 10/5. Because it's a non-creature spell, which removes -1/-1 counter, and it doubles its power. So, yeah. All right, they have a 3/1, which is great, because I have a Festering Mummy. I also have a Lethal Sting, so I can actually Lethal Sting, kill the Kenra Eternal, and then sack my Mummy, killing the Carrion Screecher. So let's try that. I'll wait a turn on the Magmaroth, I don't care. This is a great turn. So we choose Kenrit Eternal to kill. Pay 3. And then put the counter on the Mummy, which dies, putting a counter on the Screecher. That was quite a number of hoops to jump through, but we 2-for-2'd them. And now we get to attack for 2 as well. And they don't block. Great. We still have Magmaroth waiting in the wings, plus an Onward. That was a nice turn. I liked that. Okay. So they're Wandering in Death to return their Kenrit Eternal and their Carrion Screecher to their hand. So they can replay the Eternal now. That's fine. And attack for 1. It happens. Okay. Here's Inferno Jet. That's pretty sweet. We can play that next turn. Let's... Do we attack? I think we do. If they want to trade, they can trade. I don't mind. Otherwise, they'll take 2. Yeah, that's fine. I know they have the 3/1 flyer. That's not as much of a concern for me. I'll keep bluffing a Magma Spray with 1 red. And I have Inferno Jet to back up Magmaroth. I have Onward to beef up Magmaroth. So, yeah. Okay. And they're going to put that counter on itself. And then whenever it attacks, they can remove 1 from him and put 1 on something else that I control. Which is a good combo against Magmaroth, but we'll see. Okay. There's a counter that gets put on. I have Claim. That's something. I can get Doom to Center back. It's 2 or less, right? So I could get Festering Mummy as well. And the Festering Mummy would be good against the Carrion Screecher. But... Can I do everything? It's 3 for this and 3 for both of these. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I could. And it would be... The Onward part would be a surprise. So we might be able to use Fame and Onward on Magmaroth, which would mean that it would be a... it would be 14. It wouldn't be enough, right? Am I right? It would go back to 5, because we play a non-creature spell, but then it would be 2 more, so it would go to 7, and then doubled to 14, they'd go to 1. But we have Inferno Jet for next turn, and we can live. I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to play Claim, and I'm going to get back my Festering Mummy. Okay, that happens, and then that happens. And then Fame is a sorcery, so I'm going to use it on Magmaroth and pay 2, so it's a 7/5. The haste is not relevant. And then I'm just going to attack. They can't kill it, at least with what's on board. Okay. So they're blocking. And this doesn't give it trample. It would be double strike if we had that, but that's fine. So, that's fine. That'll happen. And that's the turn. We can Onward next turn as well. It won't be lethal, but still, I think it's fine. They attack. They can kill the Festering Mummy, or they can just keep shrinking the Magmaroth. They kill the Mummy. Okay, so the question is, I mean, I would clearly put the other counter back on the Beetle. I think that's relevant. Shrink it a little bit more. It only deals 3 damage now instead of 4. That's fine. Let's see what their follow-up is. They have a lot of mana, but only 2 cards in hand. They have the Carrion Screecher. Okay, we knew that. That's fine. That's also fine. What do we draw? An Open Fire. That's really nice. Okay, let's... I think we Inferno Jet and then attack. It brings them to 9. And then another 5 would bring them to 4, but they would probably just be blocking here. And then they're just going to be shrinking things with the Decimator Beetle over and over. I could also Open Fire, kill this, and attack, bring them to 10, and then leaving Inferno Jet a surprise. I think that's probably better for me here. Can I do both? I can do Open Fire and Onward, which is not enough this turn, but it would be enough next turn to Inferno Jet to kill them. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to Open Fire the Carrion Screecher for 3. Yes. The counter goes away, so it becomes a 5/5. They have 1 card in hand and 3 mana open. I'll kill the Screecher. I will attack. And then I'll use Onward to make it a 10/5. And they go to 5. And then next turn, I have Inferno Jet, and I win. Sweet. Whew, stressful. But good. They can shrink this Magmaroth all they want with their Decimator Beetle. That's totally fine. I'll take 4 and go to 7. So if they have their own Inferno Jet, they can bring me to 1. They're playing something. It's Bantu's Last Reckoning. Okay, that's fine. Thankfully, I don't need creatures to deal the last points of damage to you. And do I win? I do. Wow. Guys, we're going to the finals, quote unquote. We'll be back in just a second. Well, this is the finals. We are back, and we're facing Mill. If they try to do that to us, I think we're going to be okay. This is not an amazing hand. If I have to cycle Inferno Jet, I will, but I will not be happy about it. We are playing first. I do have Kenra Eternal on 2. So let's see what happens. Mill with a Jin as their avatar is pretty cool. They're playing deserts. First desert opponent we've come across, at least that we've seen. We drew a 3rd land. That is something. We can play Blighted Bat now. And that's this turn. They are green-blue. They could be milling. It is an option at this point. Let's play a land and attack for 2 and see what happens. Nothing happens. They take 2. And then we play a Blighted Bat and pass. Okay. They cycled a 7-drop 5/5 hexproof. Oh, they are 3 colors, at least. Okay. Well, they have a 3/3, so we can open. We could Open Fire it. That's something we could do, and then attack for 4. Yeah, that would be fine. That's silly. All right, let's do it. Okay, and attack for 4. And pass. They go to 14, and that's our turn. We need 2 more lands to be able to Inferno Jet. We can also Onward combined with Fling at some point. They have a 2/3 with Vigilance. That's a creature that is good for them. We have a flyer. That's also good. At this point, we will only attack with our flyer. And they go to 12. And then we play another one, since they couldn't deal with the first one. Seems like everybody's splashing white today, unless one of these other colors is their splash, technically. We don't know. They've played one of each color so far, 1 card of each color. They're attacking for 2. I will allow that to happen. I need some lands. They're playing an Aven Wind Guide. Okay. They don't have any tokens yet, but when they do, they're going to have Flying and Vigilance. And they've played something to deal with my flyer. That's, or my flyers. That's upsetting. But we did draw a land. That's what I wanted. We can... That's a tough one. We have 5. If we draw another land next turn, we have Inferno Jet, which would be great. This they can get back for 6, and right now they have 5 and 4 cards in hand, so they can just have enough next turn to get this guy back, which means I don't know that I want to be using too many things on it. But if we attack for 3, they're just gonna block, right? I guess if we attack and then whichever one they... Like, if we attack with both, whichever one they block, we can just fling. They'll take 5, go to 7, and then they're only 1 point away from death after Inferno Jet. So I think I'm going to do that. Yes, no, maybe. Okay. All right. Let's attack with both and see what happens. He blocked the smaller one. I guess that makes sense because he doesn't want his creature to die. So I'm gonna fling my Blighted Bat at him, and then he takes an additional 3, and that's my turn. I guess I could have onwarded there, either of them. That probably, yeah, because if I draw a land here, then I could have just won, and these guys both have Vigilance. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. That's my fault. We'll see if it makes us lose or not. Okay. Sinuous Striker. We draw Claim to Fame. Okay. We didn't draw a land, and we actually surprisingly don't have anything in our graveyard to get back with Claim. We can attack with the Kenra Eternal, but it won't do anything. Actually, that's not true. If they block it, they'll lose 1 life, and then Inferno Jet kills them. So that's actually better for us. Let's do it. And if they don't block, they take 2, and it's the same thing. So let's do that. And if they block, we can kill something. Oh, they're just destroying him. Well, that's unfortunate. But thankfully, Claim is a thing. And it's a sorcery, so we might as well do it now since we're not doing anything else, and just hope that we draw that land next turn. Let's claim the Kenra Eternal back. We can fame it if we don't draw a land. We can fame and onward something. But that's our turn. Let's see. We could definitely still lose this one, but we could also still win it. Okay. So the question is, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they have 3 cards in hand. That would take us to 8. but we would need to draw a land. I don't know that we need the Carrion Screecher. I think they have 3 cards in hand. I mean, 6 mana just gets this back. So I think we could block here and just make them, if one of these other 3 cards is something they were planning on doing besides. What does this do? They can draw 2, discard 2 for 3 at sorcery speed. Yeah, I'm not super concerned about that. All right, so let's block and kill half of their creature, but it would take their entire turn to get it back. So that's fine. They might just immediately get it back now. They don't. They play this and gain 3 life. Nicely done. That's upsetting. And of course, I figured we would draw the land. That's fine. Let's see if they let this through. Because they didn't try to block it before. And if they let it through, we can onward it and then next turn Inferno Jet and we win. Ugh, this is very risky. What, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then they can do this twice, 8, 9. That would bring us to 1. Yeah, this is very risky. But right now, it's our only play, unfortunately. So let's go to combat. If they let it through, we have a chance. If they don't, we kind of don't. And we have Fame hiding down here as well. So if they don't let it through, we'll keep Onward and Fame back to hopefully use both later. They block. Of course they do. That's fine. They go to 9. I'm not going to try to kill their creature. I don't think it's worth it. This is rough. Again, Fame gives something haste, but it costs mana. So if we draw something that we need mana to play, and I know I didn't play the mountain, but it doesn't really matter right now. They can only activate this once. So actually we go to 2. Okay. Magmaroth. 4, 5, 6. So we can make this 7 power with haste. Whoops, sorry. We can make it 7 power with haste, but it's not enough. And they just kill us next turn. So I'd rather not show them that or Inferno Jet. So let's concede and go to the next game. Yeah, I messed up with Onward. We would have had it early enough or earlier. So let's just try not to misplay this time. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to sideboard. I think we'll just run it back, see what happens. I'd love to play first. We have 2 lands. They're both red, which means if we don't draw black, we're a little bad. But we still have Open Fire. We have 2 Burning Fist Minotaurs. We don't have Claim to Fame because we don't have Claim, and so we can't get it in the graveyard. But I think we're still okay. We're not perfect, but we're still okay. All right, let's play a land and pass. I just need that black. That's all we need to make this game go swimmingly for us. Okay, now we kind of really need that black. Thankfully, we still have things to play. I think if I draw the black this turn, I'll play the Bone Slasher out. They have 2, and they're playing Unquenchable Thirst, but they don't have a... Oh, they do have a Desert. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we drew a Puncturing Blow. This is annoying. Let's play the Minotaur and pass because we just aren't getting land. It's unfortunate. Could be a game. Let's see if they hit their third. I'm sure they do, but let's see if they do. They do. And they technically have all three colors once they have a creature they can use. Okay. Well, let's attack. There's just straight nothing else we can do. They're going to take 2 because that makes the most sense. And then we have to pass because there's nothing we can play. Now they definitely have all 3 colors. And I take 2, possibly 3. Just 2. And then they play a Steadfast Sentinel. Okay, well, we drew another non-land card. And now we just can't attack. We can attack, discard Claim to Fame, and actually be able to play it later. So yeah, let's do that. It's at least something. Otherwise, we're literally doing nothing this turn. So I might as well. They don't do it. Then I don't either. Save it for later. Yeah, could have left him back as a blocker, but we're just trading back and forth. I mean, I'll take 4 here, but if I don't draw lands, it really doesn't matter anyway. And if I do, I'd like to have something on the field to work with. So we'll see what happens. Yep, just attack. Attack for 4. Again, could be 5. And it isn't. So I take it and go to 14. And then they play a land. That's something. And they tap 5 for Nissa. Well, that's something. She X's 3, so they can +2 to scry 2, or they can look at the top card and etc. Okay. Well, they have Nissa. That's cool. We have a chance if this was a hand. It's just not. I'd love to actually go up against Nissa with this deck, but that's not what we've been doing. Okay, well, it's something we can play. That's not nothing. Let's go to combat. And I'm going to attack. That's a tough question. I think I'm just going to attack. What is her? Hold on. What is her? -6? Okay. So I guess I'll attack her. I really don't. I don't know what to do here. We're so far behind. And they allow it to happen. That's good. So she takes the damage. Then I can play the Entangler. And pass. Keep a 2-lander. That's what happens. It's rough. I can't tell you how many times this has happened. You probably could tell me if you've been following along, but all right, so looking at the top card of the library, if it's a land or creature, converted mana cost less than or equal to 3, they can put it onto the battlefield. But they scried 2, so they know what it is. It's a Harrier Naga. Great. So if I had used this thing's ability, they would not have been able to do that for free just now. Okay, so they're attacking. If I block, they trade. And if I draw black, I can claim it back. and then fame it as well. It's not nothing, but it's not good. I'll do it. Wow. Yeah, I mean, again, having drawn, finally, like having drawn real cards, or, oh god. All right, let's see what we can do here. I'm at 12, they're at 16, Nissa's at 3, and they have a 6/7 hexproof creature. We have a flyer that we could play this turn. We also have an open fire, which we could use on their 2/3 or their 3/3. I think Puncturing Blow is a better way to get rid of their Steadfast Sentinel, and any land gets that for us. We could also claim and then fame, and then attack with a 5/3 trample, which again just gets killed by this hexproof. I don't think there's a way to get this high enough to kill the 6/7. Even if we had another land, we would just discard 2 cards. It would be 6, and then we would still need more mana to be able to fame. Alright, so what do we do? Besides run out our clock, which is rude, and it's not what I'm trying to do here. I could play... See, the problem is this is not a blocker, because we don't have a zombie out yet, which we could also just play this. But that's if we're trying to be aggressive, which we are not currently. We could also open fire and kill Nissa, which I think is something. It is an instant, but I think we're at 12, so we're just going to use the Burning Fist Minotaur to block the Scaled Behemoth this turn, and then just keep playing out cannon fodder to block it with, and then just be taking 5 every turn anyway. But with Nissa, they're just going to be... Yes, I do. They're just going to be playing cards for free anyway. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's not attack, because that would be the dumbest thing ever. And we'll end our turn. Definitely not ideal, but when it's turn 7 and you have 3 lands, you got to kind of make stuff up on the fly. Yeah. Okay, so the 6/7 is getting blocked, because why wouldn't I? Yep. Okay. I'm at 7. And I drew something that I could play, that's for damn sure, but doesn't really matter. I can bring back either the Entangler or the Minotaur, and then do nothing else. I could play the Eternal and then do nothing else. I could play the Bat and do nothing else. The Bone Slasher. None of these are good choices because they're all just being played out to block the 6/7. And I just go to 2 next turn. But there's literally no good options for me. I think I'll play out the Kenra Eternal, because at least it is a target for claim. Not that I don't already have 2 of those, but still, I'll just end my turn and wait to block a 6/7 hexproof. Unquenchable Thirst. Well, it's been fun. Oh well. I really thought, I mean, I love the fact that I get packs now, since I'm not going to be doing this draft format anymore, but that was fine. I think our deck was good. I punted that one game, but still, I think that this last round was a little rough, but otherwise the other 2 were a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. As you've been doing, hopefully Hopefully you've enjoyed these. Like I said, this is our last Hour of Devastation draft, but stay tuned in 2 weeks. If it keeps going live in the way that it's been going live, we're going to start some Ixalan drafts as well. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for that. We have been reviewing the Ixalan stories, so feel free to click on that playlist when it comes up. You can also click on our logo when it appears on the screen, and you can subscribe to our channel. When the pre-release happens for Ixalan, we will be opening pre-release product as we have been doing for every set for many, many years now. And so, guys, like I said, I really hope you enjoyed. I've been Joe. This has been another draft, our final Hour of Devastation draft. And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks so much, everybody.